I'm here. I should have put the long intro on, shouldn't I? But I put the short one. I didn't have time to press all my buttons because they're all scattered far and wide on my list of button pressy things. Right, anyway, quicken today. It's just been announced, well, a few hours ago, that Lord of the Rings, everything from Tolkien, the Tolkien estate or whatever, Saul Zaentz, the Saul Zaentz company, who had the rights to everything Tolkien, has just sold those rights to Embracer, who's like a Swedish video game company. I think they recently bought somebody. I can't remember who. Did they buy Square Enix or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, right. So I get the news window up. There we go. This is from Variety. I'll put the link in the description. Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit film merchandise, theme park and gaming rights sold to video games company Embracer. And there's a still from the Rings of Power. So how will this affect Amazon going forward? I'm sure their contract or whatever they've signed for whatever they're doing is, watertight for the time being. Right, Middle-earth Enterprises, the holding company that owns all of J.R.R. Tolkien's works, including Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit and more, has been sold to Swedish gaming conglomerate Embracer. The rights include movies, books, theatrical productions, video games, theme parks, and merchandise in Tolkien's most famous literary works, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, as well as matching rights in other literary works related to Middle-earth and authorised by the Tolkien estate and HarperCollins primarily, The Silmarillion and The Unfinished Tales of Númenor and Middle-earth, two compilations which were published after the writer's death in 1973. In February of this year, Variety exclusively revealed that the previous owner, the Saul Zaentz company, was looking to sell. The rights, which will be housed under a subsidiary called Embracer Free Mode, were sold for an undisclosed amount. However, pre-sale estimates suggested the value of the properties was at least $2 billion. Wow, moolah. I bet those, what they call them, what's the word? Trust fund Tolkiens are rubbing their fingers together. I bet they are. Of course, they don't give a toss, except for the money. But I could be wrong. It was initially expected that a Hollywood company might snap up Middle-earth Enterprises, with Amazon being the likeliest contender, given they are about to release Lord of the Rings of Power series. Instead, the Karlstad, Sweden-based conglomerate, which already holds a license to publish board games and card games based on Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit under subsidiary Asmodee Group, has emerged victorious. ACF Investment Bank advised the Saul Zaentz company, I struggle saying that for some reason, Saul Zaentz company, on the sale. It is the second high-profile acquisition in the last 12 months for Embracer, here we go, whose primary business is making PC and console games after they purchased independent comic company Dark Horse, publisher of Hellboy, The Umbrella Academy and hundreds of other familiar titles, in December of 2021 for an undisclosed amount. And I'm sure they bought something. I'm sure they bought like Square Enix or Crystal Dynamics or one of these sort of companies. I'm sure they did. But I could be wrong. I am truly excited to have The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, one of the world's most epic fantasy franchises, join the Embracer family, opening up more transmedia opportunities, including synergies across our global group, said Lars Vingefors, founder and group CEO of the Embracer Group. I am thrilled to see what lies in the future for this IP with Free Mode and Asmodee. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either. As a start within the group, going forward, we also look forward to collaborating with both existing and new external licensees for our increasingly stronger IP portfolio. Marty Glick, COO, as that Chief Operating Officer, I don't know, of the Saul Zaentz Company, added, "We at the Zaentz Company have had the honour over the past half-century of stewarding the Tolkien rights so that Lord of the Rings and Hobbit fans worldwide could enjoy award-winning epic films, challenging video games, first-rate theatre, and merchandise of every variety. We could not be more thrilled that it is Embracer now taking up the responsibility, and we are confident their group will take it to new heights and dimensions while maintaining homage to the spirit of these great literary works. In the decades since Tolkien's death, there have been a number of legal wrangles over the rights to his literary creations, including years of litigation between Tolkien's estate and Warner Brothers, which through New Line Cinema produced Peter Jackson's blockbuster trilogy Fellowship of the Ring 2001, Two Towers 2002, and The Return of the King 2003, that was settled out of court in 2017. There was also said to be some disagreement between the Zantz Company and Warner over rights, with the Zantz Company maintaining that Warner's substantial live-action film rights in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit had lapsed because they were not actively developing new content. In 2021, New Line Cinema announced it was planning a standalone original anime theatrical feature, not anime, it's animated, titled The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. It is unclear what will happen to that now. Variety has reached out to Warner Brothers Discovery for comment. Entrepreneur Saul Zaentz, who died in 2014, originally acquired a number of rights to Tolkien's work, including film adaptation in 1976. Left out of the original deal, however, was the right to produce a TV series more than 8 episodes long. This loophole meant that Amazon were able to negotiate directly with Tolkien's estate to make the TV series, and it is unclear whether the sale to Embracer will have any impact on the series, which launches next month. Variety has reached out to Amazon for comment, and obviously they haven't got a comment from Amazon at the time this article went to print. So there you go. So I wonder what will happen. As I said, I'm sure Amazon's contract, to produce this series is watertight. It's a $1 trillion company. They've got $1 trillion lawyers that'll have made sure every T is whatever, T crossed, I's dotted, all that stuff. But we'll see, won't we? We'll see what happens. So that's interesting. So Embracers, they're buying up all sorts of things now, aren't they? I'm going to have to look that up. Let's look that up. Go on to Google. I don't know why my things keep going to Bing. I changed my home page, but for some reason, it keeps going back to Bing. Right, Embracer Group. Right, let's have a look. See if they're on Wikipedia. There we go. See who it says they own. THQ Nordic, that's one they bought. I'm sure they bought another one, though. Gearbox. Gearbox they bought. But I'm sure they bought a big one. Like Square Enix or one of them. But obviously, I'm probably wrong. Because I'm sure somebody was going on about the Tomb Raider. There's going to be a new Tomb Raider game, and they were talking about Embracer. And Tomb Raider is part of Crystal Dynamics, isn't it, which is part of Square Enix. So I don't know. Embracer acquired more companies. 3D Realms, Ghost Ship Games. No, it's not in there, is it? Dark Horse. There we go. Here we go. In May 2022, Square Enix and Embracer Group entered into an agreement. Oh, there we go. For Embracer to purchase several assets of Square Enix Europe for $300 million. These include development studios Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix Montreal, and intellectual properties such as Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, and Legacy of Kain, and more than 50 others. I were right all along. But I just couldn't remember the details, because I'm a doddery old bugger. Anyway, so we leave it there. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Lord of the Rings got new owners in Embracer Group. How that will affect Amazon, I'm unsure. But I'm sure their contract is watertight for however many series they've signed up for. Is it 5 seasons they've signed up for? So I'm sure they'll be able to continue and do them. So yeah, it's quite exciting. That means somebody else could come along and make a new Lord of the Rings movies or whatever, or other TV series or games. So we'll see what happens there. Right, we'll leave it there. So, wherever you are in the universe, look after each other, and until next time, I'll see thee.